Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a reading wrap-up. I will be talking about all the books that I have read in the month of September. I have read a lot of books this month, but the month has been the best reading month I have had in this whole year. I think I've read over 7 books, something like that as well. So let's just get started. The first book I have finished this month is Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ng. We were following a young boy in this book. He lives with his father and his mother is not present in his life. He remembers her when she was young, and then all of a sudden she just left and they stopped talking about her at home. His dad doesn't want to talk about her. This world that they're living in is censored, heavily censored. Like, he has a friendship with this girl in his classroom and she was taken away from her parents. They gave her to other foster families and she ran away trying to look for her family. So our main character decides to look up his mother as well, and that's where the line Our Missing Hearts comes from, because he realizes that this line is related to his mom. He goes to his refuge to learn about these things. Is a library, but unfortunately the library is also censored. There are a lot of books that no longer exist, so he strikes a friendship with the librarian over there, and she knows who he is. Like, he does not know that she knows him, but she knows who he is, and she's trying to help him. And there's also this thing called pact that they focus on so much. It's basically seen as nationalism. This is in the US, if I didn't mention that. And our main character is half Asian, half American, half white starts witnessing people acting differently towards people who look Asian. In the beginning, our main character is like a rule follower and everything, but then as he notices these things, these differences, how people are treated based on how they look, he starts getting more serious and he starts putting himself in trouble, and he decides to go look for his mother. This book talks about racism. This book was so well done. I think I've given it 4.5 stars. The only reason I didn't give it 5 stars because the ending was a little bit not what I wanted. So the next book I picked up is a light one, because this book was a little bit heavy, about racism and all, and I just wanted something light to kind of enjoy. So I picked up a romance, The Happy Ever After by Abby Jimenez. This is the second book in the Friend Zone series. She has 2 series as of right now. The first scene starts with our main character in her car, and then a dog jumps up on she almost hit a dog, and that dog jumps up inside her car, because she has a convertible car. So she finds a caller with the information, calls him saying that you're leaving your dog to run away in the street and I almost killed him and stuff, and I have your dog, if you want to pick him up or something. No answer. She kept trying to reach this guy for 2 weeks and no answer. This guy has been in Australia filming some videos or movie, whatever. When he turns his phone and finds these calls, he tells her I will come, I'm out of the country, I was leaving my dog with some other person, did not take care of him. So she kept the dog with her. The guy came. Their way of meeting was through the dog, which I really enjoyed. And the guy turned out to be a musician that she is actually a fan of, but she doesn't know what he looks like because she's never seen him. And the song that went viral of him does not have any any of his face in it. They start dating. Actually, the reason I say that this is my least favorite Abby Jimenez book, because when she actually got better and they started dating and stuff, she was the one making sacrifices for him. Basically, she had to leave her friends and her family and everyone and go on a tour with him, live basically in a tour van or whatever, that tour bus, whatever. She left her life behind to pursue him, to be with him. I don't know, it just felt like she was doing too many sacrifices for him, and he wasn't doing as much or even any sacrifices. So yes, in the end she did figure out a way to go back to her old life, but still her life for a huge portion was just for him, and I did not like that. Another book that I finished is also not finished really. The first DNF this month is Life's Too Short, and this is also by Abby Jimenez. This is the next book. This book starts off by our main character, the guy. He's already in a relationship. He lives in this apartment building, even though he owns the entire building, he's renting it out. His neighbor in that apartment building has a screaming baby, and he goes knocking on her in the middle of the night and tells her, can you do something about it? And he sees that she has puke on her hair and her clothes. She does not look good. and he tells her, go take a shower, like, you know, have relaxed a little bit, like, what you're doing is not clearly not working, so I'm gonna take care of your baby for just like 5 minutes or something, and when you come back, at least like you would have had some time to rest, to do what you need to do. So she accepts, although hesitantly she accepts. When she comes out, the baby is quiet, it is no longer crying, and apparently the reason for that is because there was something in the clothes and stuck inside or something, and he removed it and the baby stopped crying, so it stopped. The girl main character is a travel YouTuber, accidentally became a mother figure because her sister, who was on drugs, got pregnant and then didn't want a baby, and something gave it to her, or like she didn't want her to raise her in drugs while she's on drugs, something like that. So she gave up her travel YouTube because she cannot travel with the baby. So she decides that day she's going to pick up the camera and tell her audience that there is this hot guy who came into her apartment and he magically made her child quiet, and that video goes viral, which is the thing that I did not like. It was completely unrealistic. The guy character is a lawyer, and his assistant saw that video and she knew that it's him, and it was just so weird. Also, our main guy character in the beginning of the book was in a relationship, and then his girlfriend broke up with him because she's married, and immediately he's going to go like date this girl, and it just felt like a mess. Too many things going on at once, and none of them seem realistic enough for me to continue, so I decided to give up on this book. The next book I picked up is a book that I was waiting for so long, and a book that I have made a video on, and that is The Life Impossible by Matt Haig. This is a 5-star. Like, if you have seen the video, you know how obsessed I am with Matt Haig's writing. This is a book about a retired maths teacher from England who receives an email saying that one of her old colleagues left her a house in Ibiza. And our main character has recently, well, not recently, but she has lost both her son and her husband, so she feels grief. She's not enjoying her life. She's living the same day over and over again. So she decides, why not, let's just go and see why she left that house to her. And then when she goes in there, she starts having suspicions because her friend or ex-colleague knew that she was going to die, so she was concerned, like, did someone kill her, like, was she threatened or something happened. So she goes trying to figure out, like, the people she saw, the places she went to, and things like that, to figure out everything that happened. And at the same time that this is happening, there's also a protest being organized because there's this person who wants to build a resort on an island called Esvedra, and the locals don't want that because Esvedra is like something important in Ibiza, and they don't want their nature and like natural places to be destroyed for the sake of building resorts. And then things start happening with, like, flowers that's supposed to be extinct are still there, and like glowing water and stuff like that. So it's a really beautiful book, and it's really great metaphor for preservation, and I really enjoyed this book. Writing it. The next book I have finished is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. When I first started reading this book, I thought this was going to be a romance. I was completely wrong. This is not a romance. This is about obsession and revenge. So that's it. That's all I have to say about it. The next book I have read is The Story of a New Name. That's the second book in the Neapolitan series. I enjoyed the second book a lot more than the first one, even though I give the first one 5 stars. It's so much better than the first one, at least in my opinion, because we're following them from the age of, like, we're following them as they are a bit older, so their problems are a little bit more serious because they are getting older. This book pissed me off so much. It made me hate every single main character in this book except for Enzo. But the majority of the main characters in this book are the worst. Like, the fathers, the husbands, the brothers, everything is the worst. I'm currently watching the second season of the book, the show, and it's so good as well. Like, this is a brilliant series. I'm just waiting to finish the second season until I start the third book. So the next book I have read is another DNF, and that's the third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. Kelly Bishop is the actress who played Emily Gilmore in Gilmore Girls. I loved her character, but I was just reading it and I forgot I'm reading it, and when I went back to it, I just completely lost interest. There's nothing wrong with this book. I just don't feel the need to learn about her life anymore, so I just put it down. The other book, or not really a book, it's a short story that I have read next, is The Situationship, also by Abby Jimenez. I have read 3 books by Abby Jimenez in the span of this month. So far, I'm caught up on everything she has come out with. This is a short story, as I said, not a book. I would have preferred so much if it were a book. We're seeing how Maddie and Doug met in this story. It was beautiful, it was enjoyable, but as soon as I was waiting for more, like, yes, like we got the introduction, I want more, the story, and then I just felt like I did not get what I wanted out of this book, out of this short story. I understand it's a short story, so like I understand it makes sense, but I would have preferred if it were a book. The next and final book I have read this month is If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. I have done a whole reading vlog on this. This is a book that I have given a second chance to. The first time I did not like it. The second time it's a 5-star read. We're following Oliver, who has just served 10 years in prison. The cop is not fully convinced that he is actually the one who did it, and so he goes to him, tell him for one last time what actually happened. He retired, so like what he says will not have any consequence. Through their whole final year, they are in the 4th year, through all semesters and everything, they go through them, and they talk about what happened between the seven friends who were Shakespeare students, like theater students, but mostly they do Shakespeare. One of the 7 people in here died. I don't know if it's an accident or if someone did it. You don't know who to trust because everyone in here has their secrets. The ending took me completely by surprise. I was not expecting that person to do it. That person was the least of my expectations. I was suspecting another person. I really enjoyed everything about this book. In the beginning, I was a little bit complaining. I was criticizing the writing style. I was criticizing the characters. But in the end, I love the writing style. I love the characters. I just needed to give it like a little bit more of a chance to really know the potential of this book, and I enjoy it. So these are all the books that I finished or DNF this month. I'm currently in the middle of 2 Sherpas by, I don't remember the author's name, but I'm gonna put it on the screen. I started this book really loving it. Now my enjoyment is really going down, but it's a really short book, so I will finish it. So this is all I have for today. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them, and as always, I will see you in another video very soon. Bye.